Hello, I hope you're having a good day, and today we'll be discussing the construction team for Uplift Summit for the year of 2021, including its involvement and why it was created. So the table of contents will be telling us basically what we will be talking about today. So we'll be talking about the why and the how that we started this project, the members and their roles and why each role is important, the process we went through to prepare for the event, the actual event itself, as well as our reflection and conclusion upon the ending of the event, and the 7 learning outcomes and why we valued each and every one. Exactly is CANstruction and why it was so important for us to participate in it and the values that we saw in it. And specifically, CANstruction is a community service event for engineering and architecture firms within our area, as well as local colleges and very rarely high schools. This competition is where those teams are tasked with building and designing a structure made entirely out of canned goods or items that won't expire relatively quickly. And it's an international competition where the goal is to generate and donate food for the local food banks. And so for the Fort Worth competition, we donate all of our gathered canned goods and food to the Tarrant Area Food Bank.
The planning process took the longest amount of time as it required the entire year. Scholars started planning for this competition after the previous competition in October, and this was when the team was founded. And after that, the rest of the year was just spent having meetings to discuss the general theme and the design that was desired for the structure.
The slides following involve and include each and every single person that was involved within the team for this year, and specifically their importance and why they decided to be a part of this event. Hair, and I was the senior representative of our specific team for the 2021 competition. And that just means that I was the one that first recognized CANstruction as an event I wanted to be involved with. And so I was the one that drafted and gathered all the people you see here in the presentation today and spread knowledge about the event so we could gather more and more support from our local people in school. And so after the creation of the team, I helped schedule and lead and plan all of our meetings and sessions where we gathered more information about how we were going to do what we wanted to do. And during the actual event, I was in charge of making sure that we stayed on schedule and whether or not we had all of the supplies that we needed to get our structure built. So, for example, in the middle of competition, we ran out of cans, and so we needed a couple more. So it was up to me to go to the local grocery store and grab the cans that we needed so that we could complete our structure in a timely manner.
Hi, my name is Paul here, and during this event, the lead and co-lead were training me to take the mantle of the Summit construction team for this current year's competition. During this event, I was able to witness how the design came to be, the methods we used to design it, how we functioned during competition, and what all we did to make all of our materials, to get all of our cans. And I basically showed up whenever I could to help this, since I had prior knowledge with construction, first as structure, time management, and how to use tools, spacing, color sequencing, basically everything we needed to make our design pop and follow the parameters of the competition.
My name is Alan Mock, and I served as a structural engineer in this competition. I assisted in deciding what our structure would be and its rough design. Afterwards, I would lead the CAD design of our structure to ensure that it was structurally stable while also appearing aesthetically pleasing.
My name is Keith Milanen. In this project, I was the leader of operations and production, so I helped lead the planning process and also helped facilitate the actual build. During the planning process, I helped come up with ideas and helped in the CAD modeling of the final design. And during build day, I helped check the building to our plans and made sure that we were going according to the CAD models. I also recorded and edited the full time-lapse of our build, which you'll see later in the presentation.
Hi, my name is Mana Single, and in this project, I was the build administrator, meaning I would be responsible for the maintenance of the structure when building actually happened. This meant to help build the entire structure and create the design while building, while also ensuring the structure would remain upright and stable. This did include the arrangement of the cans in specific orders to create the desired effect.
My name is Alosa Iguakin and I was the community outreach. So I was responsible for making sure that relations between other teams was constantly stellar throughout the competition and relations within our team was solid in order to be successful and efficient. This would, in terms of other teams, this would look like aiding in their assembly. There were a couple teams who didn't have enough cans, or they were just behind on build and just needed the extra hands, and our team was able to provide the extra hands they needed. And in terms of our team, just making sure that everyone is doing their job and everyone is keeping everyone in check, and it's just everything is moving smoothly. There was also the task of setting up meetings with professionals in CADing, or just professionals in this field in general. It is important to reach out to professionals to ensure that our CAD model was checked, everything was sound, and no complications would happen during the assembly of our model. These professionals include Matthew Hare, a project architect from Jacobs, and he was able to help us proofread or proof view our CAD model.
My role in this project was CAD/Revit administrator. So basically, my job was to lay out the cans layer by layer in a 3D modeling software called AutoCAD. This model would allow us to have a plan of attack, since we would need paper plans when creating the structure, and these paper plans would basically have the color and the arrangement of the cans one layer at a time, so we would know how to make the structure. And I also got help from a professional CAD expert, Matthew Hare, which allowed me to get a better understanding of CADing and how I could create a better model.
Discussing the process of how we started to design and build our structure.
The process of designing included constantly going back and forth between each member of the team. The actual rendering of the design was completed due to the assistance of our team's mentor, Matthew Hare. We wanted our design to be easily recognizable and for it to be simple enough where the team could easily construct it during the competition. The design of Rapunzel's tower was used because it fit with the theme of this year's event, and its simplicity enabled a structurally sound building.
While we were preparing ourselves, making all of our sets, cutting all our materials so we can make our layers, getting all of our cans in, the other day came way sooner than we expected. So we kind of rushed all of our preparations we needed, but it was kind of difficult to organize and store all of our cans since our main supplier didn't have enough cans for us. So we had to create last minute changes to the design that lessened the amount of certainty we had, and kind of changed our color scheming, had to like rearrange certain things, make it still function as our design, but change slight details where it didn't seem as noticeable we were missing some things. We're also only able to cut out a certain amount of plywood sheets, until the weekend prior, so we had one final session before our build day.
So we will be showing you the actual build process and how we participated in the event and our thoughts afterwards.
Build day. So build day is probably, well, it is the best part of CANstruction. It allows us to fully immerse within the community. It was a tough day though, because it was really hard work, and we did have to panic as sometimes the cans almost fell. We had to worry about timing and all these other factors, and we also almost ran out of cans, which also caused a lot of panic, and also had to go. So we had to go buy more, and then but it was really good because we had teamwork and we had a lot of hard work done by the team, and it was an enjoyable experience overall. And we finished the structure. In fact, 8 hours before the time.
And now here's a quick time lapse of our building process in its entirety.
After build day, the voting began. We spent the next remainder of that week sharing the poll with our friends, family, and social media to get votes out there, hopefully to help make us win an award and bring support for our structure. And once voting had ended at the award ceremony, the week after build day, our team was awarded trophies along with other ones. We got an award for structural ingenuity and were able to make contacts with colleges and STEM firms while we were there. Roughly 2 weeks after build day was teardown. That's where we began destructing our structure and clean up the mall, make sure it wasn't all cans everywhere, whatnot.
Slides following this, we will be discussing the benefits to the community and our specific reflections upon after the event occurred. There are multiple benefits that came from this event, and it's not just because it allowed us to help our community, but because it also gave us an opportunity to gain more real life experience when it came to collaboration and teamwork. And this event or competition really helped us discover what kind of people we wanted to be and the type of workers and teammates we will be in the future. Not only did we give back to our community also gave back to us the knowledge that will allow us to form our own paths and to decide our own futures, as we hope to be able to support any future teams for construction or anything at our school. Next 7 slides, we'll be discussing how we used and valued each of the 7 learning outcomes.
During this project, we developed skills in architectural design and construction, as well as soft skills such as teamwork. Each of us played a unique role, which played to our own strengths while covering for each other's weaknesses. In order to effectively compete and finalize our own structure, we had to use our time wisely and plan accordingly. We would not have been able to complete this project without the support of our mentor, Matthew Hare, nor would we have been able to connect and learn more about engineering and architecture.
Okay, so for initiative and planning, our group collaborated to plan the build and what we would create. So, like the theme of the tower, what our kind of catchphrase would be for it, and what book it would come from for build day. And we were sufficiently prepared well before with our CAD models and our printed paper plans for the tower. We were in contact with experienced mentors, Matthew Hare, who is a architect, and he helped us get the planning and materials that we needed to build our tower. And we spent majority of the year planning and preparing our designs and plans so we would be prepared for the event. And we couldn't have done this competition without the ample preparations and the assistance from the helpful volunteers and parents construction.
I would say collaborative skills is very important was very important during this competition. As I mentioned earlier, there was a team whose model hadn't been built and the day was already almost over. And if our team did not have the collaborative skills that we have fostered throughout this entire process, we would not have been able to effectively help them in building their model when in them with them instructing us and just letting them guide us. It would have been very difficult if we did not have collaborative skills. I think it would have also been difficult to work with each other if we weren't able to effectively tell each other when there's something wrong or give each other praises, just little notes and things to improve our teamwork. So, this is how collaborative skills really played a key role in the success of our team.
The goal of CANstruction as an organization is to raise food for local food banks to fight hunger, which is ethical in nature because we're participating in giving back to the local community and donating to those that need it. But we're not just giving any canned food, we're also making sure to design meals for people so that they can get proper nourishment and not just be donated random cans. We make sure that all canned goods are healthy and full of nutrients so that we can provide actual sustenance to the people that need it.
So for the challenges and skills, CANstruction was a very new challenge for all of us, as many of us are familiar with robotics, but we had never participated in an architectural competition, much less one with canned goods. In the end, we overcame and gained a number of skills with architecture and design, which will benefit us in our academic and professional future. At first, we were wary of building such a large structure, but after learning more about the process, we decided we would try as we could get all the help and support we needed from each other.
This project and competition takes place over a year-long period, and during that time frame, you get time to gather all your materials, get a plan set, make like an instruction that you design yourself through either CAD or Revit. Make sure you're not just stacking blindly. It also allows us to make resource like connect with our fellow peers so we can make our design as creative as we can, but also as functionally and structurally possible as we could, granted our little resources. But also, most of the next of our school years, we're planning competing next year, so we spent some time making sure we had people next in line, or at least one person knowing how to form the team next year and how to run the event as a team member rather than a volunteer. Make sure we can still do our tasks and bring recognition to our school and helping those in need.
Engagement learning outcome was used consistently throughout this event. As this event is a global competition, we just took place in our specific regional or district event. This affects the whole world because each team comes together as a community to bring support to others within and outside of our own communities. And this event is only possible because so many architecture and engineering firms worldwide see and understand its importance and how the values in being involved. Also, all the structures that are built are submitted to the global competition for judging, and if the judges at the state and national level see the importance and value within your structure, then it's highly likely that these specific structures will move on to the global stage for competition and judging and just bringing about general knowledge about this event. That's our presentation for today. I hope you learned a lot about the construction event and that you were inspired to involve yourself with it. And we will see you again next year with the Uplift Summit team of 2022.